Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. I know that I have been gone for a long time, but today I thought I would film a new video. I was gonna say a new film, a new video. I actually thought about this idea very recently, and suddenly I thought I would do a video kind of showing you guys my book collection. I have a very modest book collection. It is nowhere near as impressive as some of the booktubers on YouTube, but I thought this would be perfect because of my modest collection. I'm not gonna, I wouldn't, if I had a huge collection, I wouldn't even know where to choose from, but I figured I would show you guys what I do have, and I'll probably be able to get through all of the books just because it's very small. And it ranges from, I have some YA, some new adult, and just, it's all romance. A lot of the YA revolves around romance anyways. A lot of these books were purchased in the beginning of my reading journey. And I had started, or I got into reading. I don't know if I mentioned this in another video, but I got into reading because I was in college. I was studying in a program that had me in front of a computer screen all day long, and then I would go home, and to relax I would scroll on my phone on social media, and that was in front of a screen. So I wanted to get into a hobby that got me away from a screen. But ironically enough, I now read like most of my books on my tablet, so I'm back in front of a screen. So it didn't really pan out, but I am working on it because also I have a pretty small collection because I don't have much room to house all these books, because a lot of these books are in my nightstand, and then I have a few tucked away somewhere else. I don't have a lot of storage, so I can't keep buying physical copies of books because I have nowhere to put them as of right now. So hopefully that'll change. But for right now, I do have a pretty modest collection. I am kind of excited to go through all these books just because it's going to take me back a little bit. Just kind of, I'm just going to remember when I started reading. I don't want to ramble too much. I know it's been forever since I filmed a video, but I'm back. I'm hoping to film more consistently for you guys. I love this channel and I love this community that we're building. The weather is getting better, so hopefully I'll be able to do more kind of lifestyle-y, vloggy type of videos, so you guys can get to know me a little better. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'll be into, because I'd love to know. I want your feedback. I mean, if you guys want more book-centered videos, I'm down always to make that. But if you guys want to see more kind of the other side, beauty, lifestyle, vlogs, I'm totally down to do that too. I feel like that's kind of a direction I want to get into, but I mean, we'll feel it out together and see what we're doing. Yeah, so I'm going to show you guys what I have. I'm going to show you where I store my books, and I'll just start picking them out one by one. So yeah, if you want to see my book collection, just keep watching. Okay guys, so this is my collection. This is my nightstand right next to my bed. So this is what I've got. I've got some, 90% of my books are in my nightstand. I have a few tucked away somewhere else that I'll pull out and show you guys a little bit later on, but right now we're just going to get through this nightstand. So I have some up here, and then I have some down here in this little like door kind of compartment. So yeah, I'm going to try to pull these out one by one, and I'll just talk about them a little bit. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you've read any of these. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay guys, so this is the lighting we're working with. I hope this is going to come out looking good. It's very bright and sunny as of right now. It was gloomy yesterday. There was like a thunderstorm, but this is what we're working with. If it changes throughout the video, I'm going to try to fix it. But we're going to be right here for right now. So yeah, I'm going to just start pulling some books out. I'm kind of excited. I don't know why. I'm going to actually start with my Bibles, because like I'm just going to pull those out first. Ooh, okay. yeah, so I have a few Bibles. I have always had Bibles, a Bible in my nightstand. I'm Christian. I grew up Christian. I've always had that. Ever since I was a kid, in my nightstand, I've always had Bibles. So this is my main big Bible that I have in my bed all the time, in my nightstand, in my bed, in my nightstand. And then I have a few newer ones that my mom gave me. I have this one that I tend to read on occasion just because, yeah, I don't know. I just grab it, and when I feel like I need it, I just grab and read this. And then I have this tiny one that I've shown in videos before, I think. It was gifted to me when I was in grade 2. And then I also have this one that was gifted to me. This one's a little old, yeah, from grade 2 as well. So I do have a lot of these books. These are just great when I need to kind of focus and recenter myself. I'll go back and look at them, and there's some really good teachings in there. So I keep those in here all the time. But getting into the romance books, I'm gonna just pull out the top here. So the first one I have is probably the most recent physical book that I've read, is the Bridgerton, The Viscount Who Loved Me. I did a whole review on this one. Yeah, so this is a very recent buy. I got this in, I think, January. Yeah, so I did a whole review on this. It has the show. You guys know about it. If you guys want to know anything about this book, just go check out my, I'm just going to fix this camera a little bit. Go check out my review. But yeah, I read this, I loved it, and I did a whole review about it, so go check it out. The next one is this. This is called Unforgiven, and it's by Lauren Kate. I hope I remember all of these stories correctly. I think I will, but this is by Lauren Kate, and this is actually the second, no, not the second, the last book kind of in the I think it's the Fallen series. There was a movie for the first one. All of the books are at the back, all 6 of them. It's a whole series. They made a whole movie about it. I don't think the second one was made. I watched the first one's about angels. This one follows Cam's story, so it's kind of, you know, it was in the whole story about Fallen was about a fallen angel who falls in love with, you know, this girl who's reincarnated every time, and he falls in love with her basically over and over again. But this follows Cam's story, and I think because at the time I had read the story, I read Daniel and Luce's story, and I kind of was curious about Cameron. I just went and got this one. Yeah, but I'll be honest, I don't think I cared much for this one. I don't think it wasn't amazing. I can't even remember honestly if I finished the book, to be honest. But this follows Cam. If you guys know what I'm talking about, the Fallen series, there was a whole film about it. The franchise was very popular as far as the books. I don't think it was popular enough to make a second film, but yeah, I liked it. I liked the movie. I really wanted the second one to be made just because it was interesting, but I think I went and got this specifically because I really was curious about what happens with Cam. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure I rated this on Goodreads, so if you can find it on there, but I don't remember it being super kind of revolutionary. So yeah, this is by Lauren Kate, first book. I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet because I don't want it to be forever. This one I really love. This is actually the second book in Simone Ickles, I think how to pronounce it. Yeah, but it's called Return to Paradise, and this is the second book. So the first book, I'm going to tell you what happened. The first book, I had ordered both books on Indigo. The second one only came, I paid for the first one. The second one came, I was so excited to read the second one that I couldn't wait. So I ended up getting it online, and I have the second one, or the first one, on my tablet, and I just read it, and then yeah, but it's a really good story. It's about a girl who gets, I think she gets, I don't know if she's put in a wheelchair, but it was, so basically it follows Caleb and Maggie Armstrong, and basically what happens is he was driving a car, I believe, and if I remember correctly, she gets hit and she gets hurt, and she like walks with a limp now. I don't remember her getting disabled and put in a wheelchair, but I remember her leg, she walks with a limp, and Caleb basically gets, I think he goes to jail, and then he gets out and he has community service. And Maggie, the girl that actually he hurt, ends up working at that same place by chance. And they end up kind of liking each other. And it's kind of this weird kind of like he hurt me, but I kind of have feelings for him kind of thing. I really, really enjoyed it. And I thought it was a very sweet romance. As far as like graphic wise, it wasn't very graphic. It does get a little steamy, but nowhere near like crazy steamy, like, you know. And I think this falls under YA. This would not fall under NA at all, but it was a very sweet read, and I remember really liking the story. And it was one of the first books that actually got me. It's kind of in that transitional period from YA books to, like, you know, hardcore romance, or NA books, new adult books. So yeah, this was definitely the kind of bridge into that. But it was a very sweet love story. And this is part 2. So this one follows, this one is, I think they are going to summer camp. I think it falls into summer camp and their relationship and how they struggle with being apart and something like that. So yeah, I remember that much about it, but I remember enjoying this a lot. So definitely go on Goodreads, give it it's called Return to Paradise. So go give it a look and see if you read the reviews, see if you'll like it. I will link, I will do my best to remember to link all of these books down below, and they're Goodread links. Okay, moving along. Next book. I shake my head. The Red Queen, or Red Queen. This is a very popular franchise. It's a very popular franchise, and I believe this is being turned into a show. I have this book and I've had it forever, for such a long time, and I have not read it. I'll be honest, I started reading it. It was interesting. I always put it down and never finish it. So this is definitely, because I know this is being turned into a show or a movie, and I can't remember. This is definitely something I have to read. I know the premise of it. It's a world where there are people that bleed silver, and then there are people that bleed red. I can't remember exactly if like the people who bleed silver are the special ones or the people with the red. I think it's the silver. And then it follows a girl who ends up, you know, she thinks that she's like the regular folk. She ends up finding out that she bleeds silver, I think it is, and she's kind of special. And then the story goes on. I really, really want to read it because I have it and I don't read it. It's so annoying. But yeah, I need to read this. I really just need to sit down and read this because it is an interesting concept. And if you have read this book, please let me know in the comments if it's good, if it's really, really good. Don't tell me too many details. I mean, I've read the back. I obviously picked it up because I read the back and I thought it was interesting, but I definitely need to read this. I keep forgetting. Oh my gosh, but it's here. Okay, guys, so the next one is the Selection series. It's not even the first one. I have the whole series here. I have the Selection, the Elite, the One, and the Air. I have all of the books. Absolutely devoured this series and loved it when I first read it. I know this, I did a whole blog post about this. They have tried to adapt this so many times. It was adapted, I think it was going to be a TV series on, what is it called? The CW. CW did 2 pilots for it, didn't get picked up. And now Netflix, I think, got the rights for it. And they said a while ago that they were going to make a movie franchise on Netflix for it. I have no idea what's going on with that, but I know this is a really popular series in YA, and a lot of people love it. And I've even said that I was going to do, I would do kind of updates for this when and if they finally give us updates. But I mean, a whole lot of stuff has been happening with the pandemic, so I would imagine that's probably what's slowing it down. But I know how popular this is. The covers were just so gorgeous. I think that's what led me to this to begin with. It's definitely the covers, just how beautiful, and like I am such a, you know, I love anything princess and gowns and anything like that. So for me, that's what got my attention. I absolutely loved this series and I devoured it. I remember I would buy one devour it in a week, and then I would go back to the bookstore, get another one, devour it, and then at that point I was like, wait, just let me get the rest of the books. So I loved this series, and like I said, when and if they come out with updates, I will try to update you guys on this, because I know this is there's such a cult following with this one. So love this. And then what do I have next? I have these ones. This is called which one's first? This one's Bad Romeo and Broken Juliet. If I remember correctly, this has to do with a girl. Let me see. Yeah, she's an acting student. She falls in love with Ethan Holt, who is a bad boy on campus. I think they're like theater majors. She's a theater major, and they have like this epic romance. And they're both in Broadway. They both get into Broadway. I guess there was a tragedy, and he like hurt her, broke up with her, and like something happened between them. They meet again in Broadway, and then they kind of reunite, and there's passionate scenes because they're playing Romeo and Juliet. So this is a part 1, part 2 kind of duo. I hate when books, like you get a physical book and then they get wrecked with like water damage or something. I hate when that happens. Anyways, I remember really enjoying these two. Again, I will leave links down below so you guys can kind of do a little bit of your own research if you guys are interested. But this follows college students, I believe. And they basically date in college, I believe. And if I get the gist of it, and they meet, something happens. They meet, I have the worst memory, but they meet after college, after they graduate, and they're both in Broadway. And obviously it's kind of hard they're both playing the leads, and it's kind of hard to keep your hands off of each other when you're doing really intimate scenes. But yeah, this I remember enjoying a lot. So yeah, I will leave the link for these. It's Bad Romeo and Broken Juliet. So I will leave the links, like I said. I think I did I do a review on these? I don't know if I did a review, but again, link will be in the description so you guys can check out the ratings and see if you enjoy, if you like it at all. Okay guys, the next one, I did a whole review on these, and it's the Helen Hart Craving. This is the Steele Brothers series. This is part 1, 2, and 3. There are so many more books in this collection, you guys. Holy mackerel. It follows the Steele brothers, and there's 3 brothers. Each of them get 3 of their own books and 3 and their own love stories. This follows Talon and Jade. I did a whole thing about a whole video just talking about these, so go check it out. I will link it down below. Craving, Obsession, and Possession are the 3 books in Talon and Jade's. It's the first of the series. It's called The Steele Brother by Helen Hart. I'm sure you guys have come across this author. Love her books, and I'm always reading them, and now I just don't get the physical copy because there's just so many books in her collection. And honestly, I think the series is still going on. I've read, now it's about like their kids' story, funny enough, but yeah, absolutely love these. I've done a whole thing about them. Go and check it out. Again, I will link my review down below for you guys. Okay guys, next up is another series. This is by Audrey Carlin, and this is the Trinity Trilogy. I absolutely love these books. I love these 3. I know that Passionflix is actually adapting one of Audrey Carlin's books at the moment. So yeah, I absolutely love these 3. These are my very favorite. This is a part of 1 series, and I did a whole review on these 3. So I will link that down below for you guys, because I don't want this video to be impossibly long. But definitely go check out my review. I do go in depth. It's one of my older reviews, and such a little baby in that video, but I will link it down below for you guys to check out for yourselves, but also I'll link it down below. This is definitely, if you're into like billionaire kind of romances, kind of falls under that. I think I fell in love with this story just because both characters kind of go through a lot and kind of have to, especially the female character, she goes through a lot, and a lot of the story highlights that. And it's not your typical like Christian and Anastasia story. I feel like I really, really, really loved. I think the difference is the trauma is kind of in the female character in this one, whereas in 50 Shades, a lot of the trauma is definitely Christian. But I think I like this because I could not relate, but more so empathize with the female character a lot more. So I loved these books. Definitely check it out. Okay, guys, so now I'm on my second shelf. I'm just gonna start pulling out what I can. Okay, this is by Theo Lawrence, and this is the Mystic City, Mystic City Duet. This is definitely a fantasy type of thing. I remember loving these two books. I literally devoured it. Mystic City is, again, it kind of has the same kind of tones as Red Queen, even though I haven't read Red Queen. It's Mystic City. In Mystic City, the rich and the powerful live in skyscrapers, and the poor live far below. And so it's kind of like a city divided, and it has, it says it's Romeo and Juliet in a dystopian New York City, where truth and lies become twisted into the most impossible mind game of love and deception. So definitely has some kind of like, it definitely has, it's dystopian, but I think I remember it having some fantasy elements to it. I might be wrong, but yeah, definitely a dystopian world. Romeo and Juliet was definitely into that kind of stuff in the very beginning. This is one of the first series that I went and got. Yeah, so this was very fun to read. But if I remember correctly, I kind of remember the ending being quite disappointing. Or I think by the second book, I feel like the first one is better than the second one, but I feel like by the end of the second one, I was somewhat disappointed with the end for some reason. I don't know. That's what I remember about this. But I remember really enjoying the first one. Even though they go together, I found that I liked the first one more. But again, links will be down below. Next up, Beautiful Disaster. This is by Jamie Maguire. This is also being turned into a movie with Dylan Sprouse as Travis. Yeah. I'll be honest, I didn't imagine Dylan Sprouse as Travis when reading this book. I remember really liking the book, and I'm actually kind of excited to see how it's going to turn out. I don't think I visualized either of the characters because I saw the leads. It's Dylan and another girl that I've seen before, but I don't necessarily remember her name or know her name actually. But yeah, I feel like everyone in the romance world of books knows about this book. I remember really, really loving it when I read it, and I'm interested to see what it's going to look like. I oftentimes worry though when really popular books that you really like come out and become movies, because sometimes it can be just, I don't know, oftentimes I feel like they don't even compare. They can't. Like, I feel like the book is always better than the film, but doesn't mean I'm not going to watch it and see what they came up with. Because I guess everyone wants to see their favorite book. Not that this is my favorite book, but a book they really liked come to life. But yeah, so Beautiful Disaster. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed the book. I'm sure I feel like everyone has read this book. Everyone that reads romance has read this book, I feel like. But yeah, link will be down below. Okay guys, so the next book I have is called The Siren, and I remember loving this book. I think I specifically looked up book that had like anything to do with mermaids or like, sirens or whatever. This is actually the same author as The Selection. Yeah, the same author as The Selection. This is a standalone. There is no other it's not a part of a series or a duet. This follows a young girl that's actually on a cruise, I believe, if I remember correctly. And she basically is on a cruise, and everyone on the cruise is kind of in a trance and is like throwing themselves off the boat. And it's actually because of these sirens. Her entire family ends up dying, and she basically falls off the boat too, I believe, and if I remember correctly. And I remember the sirens were telling her that she had to choose. She either would die with her family or become one of them. And I think it's like she lives for so long Yeah, so they're basically bound to serve the ocean and to use their voice to lure humans to their death at the sea. And yeah, basically she'll spend years and years and years and years doing this and basically killing all these people because she's kind of a slave to the sea. And the deal is she gets to live for many, 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 many years, but she will forever work for the sea. And it's basically about her falling in love with a human boy and wanting to be human and wanting to just not be a slave to the sea forever. I remember really, really loving this book and I found it so interesting. I literally devoured it. It's definitely a YA. Yeah, so let me know in the comments if you guys remember this book or have ever read this book. But if you guys want more details, I will again leave links down below. And the cover is so beautiful. Look at the cover. I love anything with like the ocean and like a beautiful gown. That's just me. Next up, you guys, is The Edge of Never and The Edge of Always. This is a duet. So the thing about this is I literally have a bookmark where I've finished, or not finished, but where I started reading this book. I would always read this book, put it down. It's kind of the same thing with the Red Queen. I never for some reason got back to this book. I don't know if it's because I wasn't interested or I didn't find it interesting. But I bought both of these, the two, I believe it's a duet. I don't think there's another one in it. This one hasn't even been touched. No. But I always put it down. I don't know why. It might be because of the author. It might be because of the way it's written. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys have read this book. I have both of them. Let me put it straight so you guys can get a better look at it. But yeah, if I remember correctly, what is this? 20-something-year-old Cameron Bennett thought she knew exactly where her life was going. After a while, met the hottest club downtown, North Carolina. She checked everyone, including herself, and she said the only life she's ever known behind. Yeah. So she gets on a Greyhound. Basically, it's a girl who kind of just picks up and leaves, gets on a Greyhound. She ends up meeting the male love interest in them. The male love interest on the Greyhound bus. They kind of bond. And I remember he was going through a death in his family. If I remember when I was reading, he had just gone through a death. I hope this is right. And they spend their time on the bus, like him telling and venting to her. And I think I got to a part where she follows him home. He's going to a funeral, I think. I don't want to give you guys the wrong information, but I just never went back and read it. I don't know why. Hopefully I will pick it up again. Maybe I'll obviously have to restart it because it's been so long. But yeah, it just sits here collecting dust and I have yet to read it. So let me know if you guys have read this. Let me know if you have read it and loved it, if I should keep reading it, because I feel like it's a good book. I just don't know for sure. I will leave the links down below for you guys to see if you want to try it out yourself. Moving on, guys. So the last in the shelf is the After series. Ooh, see, they're heavy. The After series. I have all of the books from After. They are super, super thick. If you have the books yourself, you know. They're really thick and heavy, so I'm not going to pull them all out. But I do have After We Fell, After We Collided. I have Before, and I have After Ever Happy. So this is the one that's coming out. Ooh, I'm holding it so awkwardly. This is the one that's going to be coming out soon. But I have all of the books because I literally devoured. And at the time that I got these books, they were very hard to find. Now they're in every single Indigo you step into, but because of the films. But this was before the film came out. Holy mackerel. It was hard. It was really hard to get my hands on these. I had to put in orders. I had to drive around Toronto with my dad actually to help him, for him to help me get my hands on one of these, but I don't regret it at all. I totally love the books. I devoured the books. Despite the books being very thick, I was able to get through it very fast just because it was really interesting. But yeah, that makes up most of my collection. That is everything. Yeah, so I'm going to clean this up real quick and then I'm going to get into the books that I've tucked away somewhere else. Okay guys, so I'm up here now because my legs were cramping down there and I only have 3 more books to show you guys. So I only have 3 more. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably have seen that I've posted these books. I have yet to read any of them. I cannot wait to get my claws into them. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly show you. The first one is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I definitely picked this one up because of the author. I've read her books before and I love them. So this one is probably the next one I'm gonna get my teeth into, claws into, whatever. But it is, I've seen it on social media a few times and I think it's pretty popular. Also, I think it's a newer release. It's not old at all. So I'm gonna give this one a go. The next one has been all over social media and everyone and their mother has read it. It Never Ends with Colleen Hoover. This is my first Colleen Hoover book, okay? And I feel like now reading romance books is getting more and more popularized on social media. But when I first started reading, it wasn't really on, like, it wasn't like, oh, reading romance books on social media. It wasn't really a thing. Like, now I feel like it's more of a thing. But this one has been raved about. I have always seen Colleen Hoover's books in bookstores. I never bothered picking one up just because I feel like, I don't know, I never gravitated towards them. I don't know why. I don't think I've read a single one of her books before. But I think this one's getting turned into a movie, I think, or a show. I think it's a movie. I have a few people that I know who've read this and they loved it. They said it's an emotional roller coaster. I am just waiting to get into this one as well. I don't know. I'm debating between this one and the other one, which one to start first. But I had to pick it up because I just had to. There's a whole stack of them in any local, like any Indigo that you go to. This one is, you know, right there in the front in the romance section. So definitely can't wait to get into this one too. I can't wait to see what it's about. I believe she's coming out with a second one for this. I think it's like the guy's perspective. I never really read the guy's perspective. I think I've only a few, I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited to get into this one. I really want to see what all the hubbub is about, but yeah, I don't know which one I'm going to start, but hopefully it is as good as everyone says it is. But yeah, I don't know why I've never gravitated towards Colleen Hoover's books because I've always seen them, especially like in the beginning when I first started reading romance. I saw her stuff on shelves, but I never gave it a try. But this one had so much hype around it, so I thought, what the heck. Last but not least is the Spanish Love Deception. Very recent purchase. I literally got this like last month. It was actually gifted to me. And I'm really excited to get into this one too. I posted it on social media, like I said. It's so pretty. I love, again, these cartoon kind of looks. Super, super cute. I'm loving it. But yeah, I am excited to get into this one. I read the back of it one day and didn't pick it up, and then it was gifted to me. So I cannot wait to get into this one as well. But yeah, if you've read any of these books, you guys, let me know in the comments. Don't spill anything about it because I want to read it and be shocked for myself. But let me know if they're good. Just write the title of the book and a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And yeah, that is everything for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm going to try to be super consistent. The weather's getting a lot better. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I want to be super consistent with the videos and I want to, you know, kind of spice it up a little bit and try new things on this channel. Yeah, that's pretty much everything for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking my videos. Thank you for subscribing. I really do love it and it means everything to me. Please be sure to like this video and be sure to subscribe because it helps me out. But I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.